Hello, Tony. First of all, thanks a lot for joining me and giving me opportunity to listen to your story and actually to share your real life story from real people. It's the name of my series. And get a little bit more to know you, how you decided to go to Mexico, how long you in Mexico, and what do you feel now? Please start.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, Emily, and hello, everybody. My name is Tony, and I have been an expat in the beautiful city of Morelia, Michoacan for the last year and 1 month.
Okay, great. So I understand you knew before Mexico. I'm not sure Morelia in particular, but you have previous knowledge to Mexico before you decided, or I can ask other way, why you selected Mexico?
Well, my roots are from Mexico. I have quite a bit of family in Mexico and in the U.S. So it was a easy decision pretty much for me to pick Mexico to kind of explore. And, you know, Morelia is a beautiful, beautiful city. Mm-hmm. I have some family living in Morelia and some family living in smaller towns and other states in Mexico. But, you know, the times I visited, because I've been to very many different places in Mexico, Morelia was just, you know, the right choice for us.
Excellent. You know, Morelia is on my to visit list. I've been in many states, but not yet in Morelia, and I'm planning to be in end of March, April. So I believe I will find time to visit Morelia and maybe to meet you in real life. But please tell a little bit more people why Morelia. Actually, tell about this wonderful city of Morelia.
So Morelia is, like I said, it's truly, truly beautiful. Most of the architecture in the city center and most of the surrounding areas are still made out of rock, and they call it cantera roja, or rosa, sorry, which means, you know, like pink rock. Yes. And, you know, just when the sun kind of reflects on it, it gives you that pinky haze, and it's just really, really beautiful. It's really rich in culture. You know, one of the leaders for the Mexican Revolution, Morelos, is originally from Morelia, and that's why the city was changed from the name Valladolid to Morelia in honor of Morelos.
Oh, it was Valladolid? It was Valladolid before?
Yeah, it was known as Valladolid several years back. So like I said, rich culture and just the most amazing people. People are so friendly and helpful. And, you know, for someone that was born and raised in the U.S., moving to a different country and having people be so welcoming, you know, makes you feel like that's the right spot for you. You know, it's scary enough to go to a different country you never lived at. So the people and just the atmosphere makes it that much easier.
So I understand you don't have issues with Spanish. It's your second or maybe first language, correct?
That's correct. Yes, I'm very fortunate that I didn't have to worry about that part.
Okay. So please just extrapolate a little bit on your family situation and let me know if your family members are speaking Spanish as well.
Yeah, the majority of my family is bilingual, English and Spanish. Mm-hmm. Of course, you know, my family that has solely lived in Mexico solely speaks Spanish. Mm-hmm. So the language barrier wasn't really a barrier for me or for my partner. I know that is an issue for other expats, but, you know, we did get involved with the expat community there in Morelia, which is actually larger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, approximately how many people? Because it's what I'm really interested about expat community in Morelia.
You know, I'm not too sure on the exact number of expats currently living with Morelia, but on Facebook, there is an expat Morelia community, which I've been a part of for the last several months. And they're just great. They're full of knowledge. You know, if there's something you need to get worked out, you can always reach out to the expat community on Facebook, and they're quick to reply and give you pointers. We have a coffee kind of meeting every Thursday morning.
Oh,
And we
great
all kind of,
idea.
yeah, so we all meet up for coffee and, mingle and exchange stories and talk to one another. A couple months back, we were actually all craving Indian food because you can't really find Indian food in Morelia. And one of the expats members actually flew in an Indian cook all the way from India. She brought all her spices and everything, and we made a whole dinner thing out of it, which was truly, truly amazing.
Unbelievable. So really rich life and interconnection between people, even in time of COVID. So please tell me how COVID affected life. Obviously, it's affected life of all of us. But in your experience in Morelia and versus say United States, how COVID affected life of local people?
Well, when COVID happened, I was still in the medical world. I've been in the medical field for several years, more administrative. But I was truly, truly surprised and proud of the way Mexico in general, especially Morelia, handled the pandemic. Every store before you allowed to go in to do any type of shopping, they do have these black mats on the floor with a special cleaning solution where you have to, clean your shoes as before you step into the facility. Masks are still required everywhere, and hand sanitizer, and they are also taking your temperature. Versus in the United States, it was mainly a mask requirement. There was no shoe cleaning, there was no hand sanitizer personnel at the door. There was, at most locations, there was no temperature reader.
About your state of Nebraska, Nevada?
Correct, state of Nevada.
I see.
So, like I said, I was truly, truly proud of the way Mexico and Morelia in general are handling the pandemic.
But in regards to medical health, now if we are speaking, more specific, because we know the numbers of people who catch COVID and ended up in hospitals in Mexico. I don't know in particular in Morelia state. It's pretty high. In general in Mexico and general in United States. But from your perspective, living in both states across the border, Mexican border, how situation in hospitals in Mexico?
I never truly, had the experience of going to a hospital in Morelia. Luckily, I was healthy.
Stories, what people say, like it's reliable. Hospitals are overloaded or not. What kind of help people getting? Because I know that there is difference between treatment we have in Canada. In United States, actually no treatment at the beginning, just be closed at home and wait till you will feel worse and go in hospital only if you kind of blue. So I know that in Mexico, like Ivermectin or some other pills are open for sale, but I don't know what Mexican doctors are prescribing, just if you know by chance.
So, having family there, I did hear of, their experiences with COVID. Yeah. A lot of the doctors in Mexico are still doing house calls. So they'll come out to your home, assess your health situation and, prescribe. I didn't get into the details on what medication they were prescribing, but I know the hospitals are not at full capacity and have not been at full capacity for COVID. I think most people, are seeking their primary care provider or doctor, like I said, doing those house visits or going to their office for direct patient care.
I'm sorry, home calls, it's from public system or private medical system insurance?
In Mexico, it's mainly private. Public health systems are mainly, the hospitals that people are going directly to.
Okay. It's like I know about medical system kind of in theory, and I'm always interested to know how it works, in particular. So, by the way, what you would say about climate in Morelia State?
Oh, it's beautiful. When I got to Morelia, it was the rainy season. But it was a nice change from the state of Nevada. I'm in northern Nevada, so we get half the year is cold and snowy. So it was a nice change to go back to 70-degree weather. Even during the rainy season, it's still beautiful weather, warm during the day, rainy during the evenings. But then the summers are just gorgeous, beautiful, warm weather all year round, pretty much.
Okay, and one of the questions that people usually asking me, and maybe sometimes you, I mean, Americans, people who don't have experience with Mexico, what you would say about crime level, specifically in Morelia state, because many people worried about it. How you would describe Mexican people in general? It's my next question, but how you feel, what is the safety, and not only for you who feel like local, but looking from perspective of newcomers, expats.
Yeah, I think, it was the same situation we had experienced when we told our family and friends we were moving to Mexico. That was one of their main concerns. Like, oh my God, have you guys looked into the crime rates? Is it safe for you guys? Or will you guys be okay? And, I think it's all just the media overhyping things. We've been in Morelia, like I said, over a year. And truly, we have not seen anything apart from, people pulled on the side of the road by a police officer for a traffic ticket. We haven't experienced, people being dead on the street or gunfights or, truly nothing. I think, if you're going to go to Mexico and live the life you want to live, and you're not involved in any dangerous situations with dangerous people, you're not in any more harm than you would be in any other country or state in the world. So, like I said, we didn't see anything during our first year there. I think the most dangerous things we ran into are the road conditions due to the potholes, and that was the scariest thing.
Okay, nice to know about it. Look, even Nubia's statistic and some other sites which I'm checking once in a while, specifically in regards to Mexico, you can find some stats about petty crimes, different theft. But what is more important, like people who living normal day-to-day life, not experiencing, I would say, disturbance or life. No, I'm just wondering if you would recommend, say, single woman to go alone in late night time. I don't know how it's applicable to your city, but what you would say in this regard?
I think just use regular precaution you would any other place, correct? Don't be, walking around the streets alone if you're a female by yourself, at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning.
I understand.
It's the same recommendation I would give to anybody, whether you were in the United States, whether you were in Canada, whether you were in Mexico. So I think, just follow the same precautions you were to follow anywhere.
Okay, thank you. What are the negative aspects of life in Mexico you can share with us from objective point of view? You mentioned bad road, like infrastructure. What else?
Yeah, I think, it's definitely a big change. Like I said, I'm lucky enough to be bilingual, so I was able to get through some of the changes easier than others. But, some of the headaches were, just going to El SAT, which that's what they consider the DMV in Mexico, and trying to, register my car and go through all that process. Well, the time that I was, when I got to Mexico, it was during or coming up to the elections. And when I went to go register my vehicle, there wasn't license plates available because I guess they diverted all of their funds to the election. So even though I registered my car and got all the paperwork going, I had to drive around without license plates. And that's something that, I wasn't a big fan of, because you're going to get pulled over easier, for them to verify that you have a permit, and that your car is registered. Navigating the whole billing system, like your internet um, and your water and all of that. It is different than the United States. Here in the United States, as a renter, you take your lease and you sign up for these services in Mexico and Morelia. Some of those services have to continue to be registered under the property owner, and then you go and make the payments on behalf of that property owner. So just getting used to the changes was a difficult challenge for us.
But I would say, comparing my multi-immigration experience, I understand that bureaucracy is bureaucracy in every place. And when we used to have it one way, and here you need to do it kind of not to do online, but to go to some other different offices, it's a challenge. But obviously, with the time, people are accommodate. And no doubt that speaking Spanish helping to navigate all these issues. Basically, there is a good Spanish school for expat or for everyone who is interested in the city.
Yeah, there's actually several options. There's both in person and online. So different options to pick from, for sure.
Okay. Great. So yes, bureaucracy, internet. Speaking about internet, like in what level? I understand might be some areas where maybe it's not a good connection, but mostly it's fiber-based internet. What?
Yeah, I did live in the city, so most of the city is now on fiber internet. There are some parts of the city where they're slowly transitioning over to fiber. So if your section of the city has not been converted yet, you have your standard copper internet service, which I believe it goes up to 100 megabits per second. But if you're on fiber, you can get up to 400, 500 megabits per second, which is, the same thing we experience in the United States. The internet service is great. The only complaint I have about it is if you ever have the need for technical support, for them to come out, it is quite a long wait time. You're looking, we had some issues with our internet for a little bit. And when we called, it did take the technician almost 2.5, almost 3 weeks to come out and check our device. So that is one of the downfalls of the internet service providers down in Mexico.
Speaking about cultural life in the city, what you can share with us, like what's going on, like nightlife? And I understand COVID, it's not time of the big parties, but generally about Morelia as a cultural place, what can offer to people?
The great thing, about Morelia is that they have so many events outdoors where you're able to social distance and, keep in mind all the COVID precautions. So, there's still events going on as long as they're outside. You can still go out and enjoy, a nice cup of coffee at the city center all day long, pretty much. The first couple of months when we arrived to Morelia, the governor did issue kind of an emergency mandate because of the increase in COVID cases.
Yep.
So some of the restaurants and even some of the stores did close at 7:00 at night versus, them opening up until 10. So, those kind of things changed. The bars were all closed pretty much the first year that we were down there. So there was really no nightlife for the younger population, apart from, the family parties and stuff like that. But again, they do a great job at keeping up with the city cultural events and that still go on, which you can still go out and have fun.
Great. So what you would advise other people from the US or Canada who is considering moving to Mexico?
Definitely plan. I planned our move before we went for a good amount, a year almost.
Okay.
And just be as prepared as you can. Talking to the other expats in my expat community. If you're able to plan that early ahead, definitely start taking some English classes just to make it easier for you to communicate. Spanish, yeah, to really help you communicate with the locals and really just get the most great experience you can have. And if you're considering Mexico as your destination, you won't regret it. The weather is beautiful, the culture is beautiful, the food is fantastic, and just an overall great experience.
For professionals, because I don't know about this side of Morelia state, some kind of industry, what exists in a city and in a state? I know that city is big touristic hub place, but there are some industrial, companies around. What kind of professionals would benefit in living in Morelia?
Yeah, I know there's quite a large industrial sector in Morelia. Apart from the traditional jobs you can get, at a supermarket or at a little convenience store. My partner actually, got a job with a company based in Mexico, but was getting paid in US dollars.
Great.
And working, pretty much for a U.S. based company out of Mexico. So, I mean, those opportunities are still there. The pay is significantly lower than you would in the U.S. or Canada, but they base it out of Mexico's
cost of living prices.
Cost of living, exactly.
Even like Morelia, say, to compare with Mexico City cost of living or Riviera Maya, which many people know. Cost of living, like approximately how you would compare.
Yeah. I've been to Mexico City and I've been to Cancun and the Riviera Maya, and cost of living is lower in the city of Morelia. We're comfortably able to not cook at all. We go and we enjoy breakfast out, lunch out, and dinner out every day without having to break the bank if we were to do that in the States. So cost of living is definitely a lot cheaper. And
rent, for example, rental apartment.
Well, for us, for an apartment rental, you can go as cheap as, 3,000 to 5,000 pesos for a 1 or 2 bedroom. Mm-hmm. And then you can go, as high as, 15, 20, 25, 30,000 pesos, depending on how luxurious you want to go.
But there is variety. There is availability, variety, and okay.
Yes, there definitely is, especially when we moved down to Morelia. The availability for the rental market was extremely high, only because the schools, including the colleges, were placed on hold. So, the college students weren't, flocking to the city to get those rental units. So lots of opportunity for rental right now.
Okay, great to know. So again, any tips, any advice, what to do first when people arrive? So you remember that actually I'm international lifestyle consulting, and I'm speaking a lot about Mexico and how to prepare to this big move. For some people, it might be first time in their life, to leave one country to relocate to another. But speaking about local specifics, I more rely on people like you who already live in a city, in a place, who speak language, and I'm interested myself. So what you recommend for people at first when they will arrive, say with temporary residency, officially, or with some type of visa to Morelia? What to do?
I highly recommend, reaching out to some local expats. The expat community, like I said, that I'm a part of in Morelia is a great resource. And you can reach out to them, interchange your number and have someone's number available. And they're more than happy and more than welcoming any of the questions you might have. I've even had some expats in my community where, they'll be willing to go with you and walk you through the entire process of whatever it is you have to get done. So that would be my biggest tip is, get involved with the local expat community wherever you decide to go.
Thank you very much, Tony. We didn't agree about it in advance, but I can tell you that I'm always promoting local expat communities and being member of expat communities in several countries. I mean, Facebook groups. I can tell you, and I'm member of several expat communities, Facebook communities in Mexico. In Mexico, I found the most welcoming people, really to help, being expats like you, or living all life maybe in Mexico, or coming from different countries and having some experience. I found that people always advising, giving really good tips about local life, providing their telephones. I was surprised because usually people don't like, in our countries, don't like to exchange phone numbers with people they don't know, kind of in the Facebook. It's kind of no. So I was really, and I'm still happy when I see this exchange between newcomers and local people who are ready to help with advice, with deeds, with whatever they can. So I really enjoy this part of the life, and I can tell to everyone, it's one of the points why I myself selected that I will move. I'm in process of moving now, just sharing my kind of little secret. I'm in process of moving, and in all countries I'm working with, I'm moving to Mexico. Thank you very much, Tony. I really enjoyed our conversation. And I believe we can meet in a couple of months just to check kind of on each other. I might be in Mexico and you might be maybe, exploring some new work or life opportunity. So let's be in touch, and we will inform our followers, listeners about life in Mexico.
Sounds good, Emily. Thank you so much for your time, and to all your followers, definitely consider Mexico. You won't regret it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Tony.
There are many reasons people choose to make the move to the destination of their dreams. Remote workers can work from anywhere with an internet connection. Today, virtually every part of the world is online. Once just the lifestyle of digital nomads, the pandemic has led millions of people to work remotely. Many are choosing to move to a foreign location. Retirees, too, discover how their nest egg can go farther when living in a location that offers a better quality of life while reducing expenses. At International Lifestyle Consultants, we have scoured the world to uncover the best foreign destinations to call home. Perhaps you dream of a pastoral life in the quaint European countrysides of Italy or Portugal. On the shores of the Black Sea, you can find luxury accommodations at a fraction of what you would pay in the United States and Canada. Enjoy a leisurely lifestyle of Caribbean or Pacific trade winds found in the beachside communities of Mexico, Central and South America. Choose from the many charming colonial towns located in the same region. Discover areas with quality access to dental and health care that have attracted many foreign travelers on a budget. We make choosing to live in your dream destination a reality. We have curated migratory, cultural, and investment opportunities that you will not find elsewhere. We know firsthand how to help you create your step-by-step relocation plan. You'll begin your journey by filling out our Know Yourself questionnaire. We can also arrange discovery tours so you can experience the culture up close and personal prior to making your move. You don't have to dream of living in an exotic location. Contact us today and make that dream a reality.